Hi everyone, and welcome back to Mission 1820 and this week's episode of Have You Ever Wondered? If you're just joining us, we've been in a series called Books of the Bible, and we've been giving introductions into each book of the Bible in just 5 minutes or less. So without further ado, let's get to this week's book. You know, if you've been asking yourself all these weeks, hey, when are we going to get to the shortest book in the Old Testament? Well, I'm happy to let you know that today we're actually there. We are in the Book of Obadiah, which is only 21 verses long. Now, Obadiah is the 31st book of the Bible, and it's the fourth of the 12 minor prophets that we are covering. Now, the author of the book is Obadiah. Now, his name means servant of the Lord, and he was a prophet from the land of Judah. As for the date of the writing of this book, that has really been left up to debate by the biblical scholars. So we don't really know the exact date. Obadiah is a brief prophetic vision concerning the fall of Edom, and that's a mountain-dwelling nation that was founded by Esau. And yes, you're not wrong, that's the same Esau from the book of Genesis. Now, the book recounts the downfall of Jerusalem in 586 BC, and it's also condemning Edom for their part in the destruction. Also, they're holding out hope for the day of the Lord when Israel and Judah will be restored and Edom will eventually be destroyed. For clarity, the Edomites, well, they're the descendants of Esau, and the Israelites, well, they're the descendants of his twin brother Jacob. These brothers, they began their feud all the way back in Genesis chapter 25, verse 29. And this feud has affected their descendants for well over 1,000 years. And their fighting actually caused the Edomites to forbid Israel to cross over their land during their exodus from Egypt. And because of this, Edom's sins are now coming under the strong judgment of God. However, now this is a spoiler alert if you don't want to read all 21 verses. The book does end with the promise of the fulfillment and deliverance of Zion in the last days when the land of Israel will be restored back to God's people. The book of Obadiah makes it clear that God takes his promises to his covenant people very seriously. And if you remember back in Genesis chapter 17, God promised that he would bless the rest of the world through Abraham and his descendants, while also promising to protect his people against anyone who would try to bring harm to them. And this promise is what is being affirmed in the book of Obadiah. Obadiah gave God's message to the Edomites because of their indifference and defiance of God, as well as their cowardness, pride, and betrayal toward their brothers in Judah, which is resulting in their destruction. So why do we need to read the book of Obadiah? Well, because we need to learn that God will overcome on our behalf if we stay true to him and that we honor him, and that we must always be willing to help others in their time of need. You know, I like to say that the only time we should actually look down at someone is when we're actually trying to help them up. You know, in our lives as Christians, pride should not be found in any of us, because quite honestly, we have nothing to be proud of except Jesus Christ and what he has done for each and every one of us. Obadiah reminds us of the consequences of living in a self-serving manner, of following through on our own feelings, our own desires, without ever considering their impact on those that are around us. Obadiah's little book warns us against pride, revenge, and bitterness. It reminds us that we serve a powerful, sovereign God who loves and protects his children. So with that, I hope that this introduction is going to help get you started in the book of Obadiah. So God bless, and thanks for watching.